Hi, so I've been a user of Windows Media Player from Windows XP, and my go-to visualization is the scope option on the bottom waves, and I am a avid user of this graphic EQ ever since. So back in the possibly 16-bit days, whenever I do a bass boost or any kind of EQ boost, the visualization and the audio started to clip. So the visualization, the scope waveform, actually was useful because um, it's helping me to collect helping me to keep um, the audio at healthy levels. So I can still demonstrate that clipping with this tracker file right here, thanks to the base mod library from the K-Lite codec pack. So let's turn off the EQ for the reference. So it's a pretty bassy track, but there is not much volume, so as I normally do, here's the equalizer. So this probably has some 14 or 15 decibel gain. I don't know. This is failing some sort of an arbitrary number, but anyways, here we have the clipping artifacts, the audio flatlining at the maximum level, because there is no going past this level. But I'm so much I gotta be thankful for that upgrade where it now offers better bases for common audio formats, and it has some sort of a limiter with a long release time, and as long as I'm wearing headphones, I don't actually mind that. I gotta appreciate that it's now providing better bass with the equalizer. So here is an MP3 track, first with the graphic equalizer off. So that's the actual raw vanilla flat representation of the left channel of the audio stream. So let's kick out the equalizer. And the audio actually sounds better, but now the visualization doesn't look any accurate anymore. It looks gnarly with this sort of a switcheroo thing going on in here. Well, it's kind of like at the earlier track with not much volume, we see a huge increase in the amplitudes after the equalizer. So that's so much of a gain, and the audio engine is doing whatever it should to keep the audio in a healthy level while providing the EQ's purpose. But the visualizer doesn't know how to count past the limit, so it's basically starting from the bottom. And this weird looking thing, obviously there's a lot of things going on, so let me switch to a sine wave, turn off the graphic equalizer, turn off again, turn on. And there is this repetitive thing happening, and in fact the sine wave is in fact a sine wave, and it is not affected by the equalizer at all because it's just one frequency. But this is the top part. It's going down, and somewhere in the middle of this is probably the 0 point, and it's going down. But the visualizer just cannot count past the limits. So as if uh, it's a child who doesn't know how to count past 10. It starts from 1. Well, it looks so much jaggedy, like a and I got to know about a similar pattern in digital signal processing, and thanks to a video from sif.org. It's called Digital Show and Tell. Um, it's about digitizing audio, and people mostly believe it to be looking like a stair-step waveform, except it's not. It's a different story on its own, and you should check out that video by sif.org. Well, here we have a analog perfect sine wave, then a 4-bit digitization, and in the digitization process, this is the noise part added to the signal. It's called the quantization noise, and this is showing an identical behavior to our new visualizer right here. So let's open up a new window of Audacity, and I'm going to generate a 1 Hz sine wave. It's in a 32-bit float track. I'm duplicating it and then switching it to 16-bit PCM, invert it, and mix and render. So at the first glance we have a silence, but I'm going to amplify it until we get the quantization noise. So you may feel that this noise is quite for good right after I played. So 3, 2, 1. I want you to watch out if you are having trouble with loud or high pitched sound. So first, this is the 1 Hz sine wave in one way or another. We don't have anything to hear, but if you play this through a speaker, there is a good chance you will see the speaker con moving so much slowly from in and out. But this is the quantization noise, which I amplified so far to demonstrate. So please watch out if you are having any discomfort. So 3, 2, 1. It sounds like a laser gun, and sure, you can see the iterations happening from I guess there is more than 16 or some 2 to the power kind of number of iterations. But anyways, this helped us so much for demonstrating how it provided me a key to recreate this visualization from our humble media player when it's doing a bass boost. So that's quantization noise. Well, let's see. Let's do the same thing to an audio track. I need to set it to 44.1 and then change the format to 16-bit PC. Oh shit. The full sample format. Mix and render. Yeah. And now I'm gonna duplicate it. This decimator here is a very basic plugin. It's a bare bones version of a bit crusher with no noise addition or EQ, wet dry mix, anything like that. We can change the bit depth and the sample rate, and there's nothing else. So let's this is in 16-bit PCM, so let's set it to 14, I guess. And the track is already inverted, and mix and render. It's pretty much noisy, but let's try one more with a let's keep widening the difference of the bit rate, shall we? The bit depths. 16, 12. This doesn't look anything like the Windows Media Player because we have just isolated the noise part that is also including the dithering and other error correction methods, so that's not gonna cut it. So what happened? Let's get back to a sine wave. Mono track. Invert, and then pushing the decimator in 2 bits. Nope. Let's go with 3 bits. And we're gonna remove this middle part with the distortion plugin. And this has a bunch of options, including this one called expand and compress. So this basically trims out the middle parts and isolating the higher peaks. That's about it. Nope. Got rid of many middle portion. And I'm gonna clip it. Oops. Got some clipping right there. Again. One more. Oh. Let's get one more. And let's that's a 0.8. There we have the identical distortion. This is the 0 part, and this is the lower part, the higher part. Switch to the completely wrong positions, much like how the Windows Media Player is doing. So that's a good start, I guess. So let's repeat it to this music track. Invert, decimator, no mismatch in sample rate right now, and get rid of the noise. No. We need to equalize this to have a bass boost, and then I'm gonna apply a limiter to keep this thing uniform. Now it's time to duplicate, invert, decimator, and that expand and compress effect. Should I just I guess the clipping is perfect now, and time to go at it. So here we have a flatline waveform, and the distortion is basically at work here. Is not a perfect representation because these peaks should have to go from the very up to very bottom. There's some mismatch going on here. I guess we can go around that with this gain stages. Nope. So that's something. Finally, we have a new representation of the distortion. So once again, if you are uncomfortable with loud noises, please watch out. It's gonna get pretty noisy. This is erratic behavior for trebles. So at times this distortion sounds like a damaged Class D amplifier or something, but it looks identical. It's a complete it's a complete game of luck where you find the sweet spot of everything going between the extreme points. So yeah. The distortion completely translates many basses into trebles and trebles into noises, and for long-term hearing, it's not a good method. I guess this may end up as a different distortion effect that is completely unmusical. There may be no point at using it, but this is pretty much how the visualizer's waveform or the point of view of the visualizer in the new Windows Media Player sounds like in the real world. Here's we have the intact waveform, and then it tends to go much deeper. It just can't, and it ends up in the upper section. Well, this similar distortion is already present in this Android app called ASR. It's a nice app. You gotta need to pay for the premium. It's the premium version is actually pretty cheap, and it's just a nice, cool app until you push up this gain to higher than 0. You're gonna get this actual distortion in the recordings because at the moment it just cannot handle that things that are past the ceiling. It's probably 16-bit or it's configurable. Yeah. So yeah, finally this exists, and I demonstrated it to you, so you don't have to make more approximations. It's it's downright unpleasant, and it looks gnarly as the visualization. So that's about it. Thank you for hanging around. I'm extremely sorry for your ears right here. So yeah, let's see you in another video. Bye bye for now. It's 20 minutes.